Hello everybody and welcome back to Belle's channel, and in today's episode we are going to be gaining affinity with McCready. I've literally just gone away, grabbed a drink. By the time I've come back upstairs, McCready's talking to me. So I think it's one of them things where like you're travelling with them and they kind of like it. So, and I have heard from rumours that he likes it when you wait in settlements. And I was waiting for about 5 minutes or so, in real time. So let's just have a quick word with him.
What do you want? So, you impressed yet? I told you I was a damn good shot.
Actually, I'm quite impressed.
Yeah, I thought you might be. I'm completely self-taught, you know. Picked up a sniper rifle when I was 10 and never looked back. Always thought it was smarter to hit my targets at long range. I mean, why take chances, right? Besides, I had to come up with every trick in the book to survive the Capital Wasteland.
What were you doing in the Capital Wasteland?
I was born there. Lived underground in a place called Little Lamplight with a bunch of other kids. Left
Little
there when I was
Lamplight!
around 16. We kind of had a policy there. No adults. When you were 16, you packed up and left. I know, it sounds crazy, but having adults around was something we couldn't trust.
So does everyone know who he is now? Fallout 3, Little Lamplight, cave full of kids. The Mayor McCready. I love how they've done that.
How could a bunch of kids survive without help?
Everyone pulled their own weight. Just like a colony you'd find anywhere. We all had our designated jobs and we watched each other's backs. Can you believe I was actually the mayor for a while? Me. Crazy, I know.
Makes sense, I suppose.
Nothing makes sense anymore. You just roll with the punches. Anyway, when I hit 16, I ended up wandering the Capital Wasteland for a while. I took the odd job here and there, but things were pretty hot with the Brotherhood of Steel running the show. So I hitched a ride with a caravan and made my way north until I ended up here. Made a pretty decent name for myself before I heard that the gunners needed some sharpshooters. Biggest mistake of my life. They were animals. Killed anything that moved if it got in their way. I went with it for a while because the caps were good, but I don't know. I guess it started to catch up with me. So I quit, which pretty much brings us to now. So there you have it. My whole life in a nutshell.
Thanks for sharing that with me.
Well, you've earned it. Look, I know I tend to be a pain in the ass. I know I tend to be arrogant and I come off like I want to be alone. Nothing could be further from the truth. Being alone scares the heck out of me. And now that we've been traveling together for a while, I'm beginning to realize how much I missed having someone I could depend on. I just wanted you to know that I'm going to do everything I can to see that it stays this way. Well, that's all I had to say. Hope you got something out of all that. I know I did.
Cool, so that's McCready's little story. We learned he was in Fallout 3. So now you just keep travelling with him. The next time he speaks, because now we're about halfway, the next time he speaks he should progress his quest, Long Road Ahead. And then after we do that quest, that should be the final bit. So what I'm going to do is we're going to do a few things to gain affinity with McCready. First off, we're just going to go buy a house in Diamond City. I'm just going to show you how to do that. Next is we're going to speak to Shane Kowalski over by the water purifier. You get quite a lot of likes with McCready for that. Don't know why. And then we're going to be doing the quest. I'll show you it later. So let's just start getting going. Otherwise we're going to be taking well too long. So if you go up here,
So Crocker killed Earl Sterling. And you figured that out? What? Trying to make us look bad?
Need something, honey? Housing permit? Looking for a job?
What was that about synths?
Oh, no. I'm not saying anything. I like my job, thank you very much.
let's hear about the permit.
We have one.
Hey, Geneva.
Need something, honey? Housing permit? Looking for a job?
And you are?
Geneva, the mayor's secretary. I handle all the day-to-day.
I'm looking for work.
Mercenary type? We usually have a few open bounties. Just check the wanted posters in the market.
Tell me about the permit again.
One home available, center of town near the market. Interested?
Tell me more about this house.
The previous owner bought an adjacent warehouse and knocked down a few walls, so it's bigger than most. And he left behind his old tools, so you'll have everything you need to modify the inside however you see fit.
I'll take it.
Here's the key. Let me be the first to welcome you as a resident of the Great Green...
Geneva.
Enjoy your new home.
Latest news from the Commonwealth.
Diamond City surplus is where you can sell all those scraps you scavenged.
Don't let the stress of life kill you. Relax with some cams.
Open notice to anyone with a gun and some ambition. Radioactivity on the rise in the Andrew Station. They have money, gear, supplies, everything stolen from honest, hardworking people. Keep what you kill, no other reward given. We will do that eventually with Nick Valentine when we do his quest. Anyway, you're going to want to go this way to the water area.
You're a smart woman coming to me. Special.
Looking
Anything
for work?
I can do to help out?
Still need help cleaning the water supply. Interested?
Come on. My time's worth more than that.
150 then.
I don't think so.
Everyone always shies away from the dirty work.
So, as you'll see, McCready likes it when you refuse. Piper likes it when you say yes, so you can kind of get two likes out of companions. Anyway, let's go to Bunker Hill to activate or trigger this quest called Special Delivery.
The monument here is a joke compared to the one in downtown Washington, D.C. There's gotta be something valuable inside to justify all this protection.
You remember him? Keep poggering me every time I come here? Well, now we're going to talk to him. Edward Deegan.
You'll find I'm very persistent.
Oh, yes, I know that, darling.
Let's hear it.
I'm always looking for people who know how to handle themselves in dangerous situations. From what I hear,
You may fit the bill.
Quick save. Reward.
I don't mind danger, so long as I get paid well enough.
You will be well paid. I can promise you that. By the way, I'm Edward Deegan. You'll mostly be working for me, but you'll need to talk to my boss first. His name is Jack Cabot. He likes to personally interview everyone I hire. He's careful like that. Come down to Cabot House in Beacon Hill and ask to talk to Jack. I'll let him know you're coming.
Map updated. Special delivery. So if you're at Bunker Hill, it is much easier to find it. So I was offered a job from a girl named Edward Deegan. If I'm interested, I need to travel to Cabot House in downtown Boston to talk to someone named Jack Cabot. So now we're thinking ghoul dude, more ghouls maybe. Anyway, so you basically go straight down the road south, cross the bridge. Do be careful, there is spawns that could happen. You're basically going to go down a little side alley. There is robots, don't worry, they will not attack you.
Be advised, you are being watched. Go away.
I've got a very bad feeling
I'm
about
here to
this
talk to
place.
Jack Cabot.
Oh, it's you. Good. Come on in.
Look alive.
What do you
Excuse
want?
me.
Take this. You're gonna need it.
Your thoughts?
It's about time things started going my way.
Very preserved home on the outside. And some heavy duty protection.
Come on. Let's go meet the boss.
What is this place?
Better to let Jack answer that. Come on.
Nice. Yet they have disgusting furniture.
Jack, the new gal is here.
One moment. Just have to.
He'll be right with us.
Oh, damn.
Look at the
There they are.
paintings, they're all
Just
pretty
next-
and beautiful.
Hello. Welcome to Cabot House. I'm Jack Cabot.
Jack Cabot. That is very old clothing. They look fucking really demonic and sad.
What is this place?
This is my ancestral home. The Cabots have always lived here, since long before the Great War. If you're asking what we're still doing here, with Boston in its current sad state, well, that's a story for another time, perhaps.
Pleased to meet you, Jack.
And I am very pleased to meet you. Edward finds it tiresome. But I always like to know personally everyone who works for me. Please, have a seat. How about a drink? Edward, the good bourbon, eh?
Whoever lives here must have made a deal with the devil.
Now, before we get down to business, I have a question I like to ask all my new employees.
Is this really the time
Don't
for...
interrupt, Edward. The question is this. Do you believe there is other intelligent life in the universe?
Little green men and UFOs? Come on.
You misunderstand me. I'm not talking about the flying saucers of popular hysteria. What I refer to is the hidden history of our planet. The very origins of human civilization. Ancient powers that modern science, even at its pinnacle, could barely begin to comprehend.
I'm really just here about the job.
Yeah, what's the job? It'll help me take my mind off all the alien crap this guy's talking about.
I'm sorry if I'm rattling on. I sometimes forget not everyone finds these things as compelling as I do. I'll leave you to Edward. He'll be your immediate supervisor. But remember, I'd love to chat more about this when matters are not so pressing. Welcome to the family.
Okay, you're officially hired. Congratulations.
That was Interesting.
Good. If you like that kind of thing, you've come to the right place. That's part of the job, by the way. It's best to keep an open mind. Jack may be eccentric, but he's definitely not crazy. The job I got for you is simple. Jack owns a facility north of the city. There's an important package that went missing between there and here. I need you to track it down and bring it back to me. Any questions?
For starters, what's this package I'm looking for?
It's a metal case holding vials of serum. You don't need to worry about what it is. Jack needs it for his research. That's all you need to know. You should start at Parsons State Insane Asylum. Don't let the name spook you. It's just a secure building that we're using. We think the courier got ambushed as he was leaving the place. The guards heard gunfire in the distance, but we don't know exactly what happened. Check in with Maria at Parsons. She's in charge of the security force there. She can point you in the right direction. You all set then?
Yep, I'll see you.
Good luck. Don't get killed on your first job.
Fun. So now you can leave. I don't know what was going on there, but my freaking PlayStation sounded like a freaking... I don't know, freaking jet plane or something. Okay, so you want to go talk to the guard captain at Parsons Insane Asylum, all the way up here near the slog. I'm just going to fast travel to it because it's just quicker. And this is a bit of a long quest, so this may be a part 2 type of thing. Okay, so front guard. Gonna go over here. Quick save.
Hey there.
This place is off limits. You'd best move along.
Edward Deegan sent me. I'm looking for a missing package.
Oh, you're the new girl. So this package. Pretty sure we know where it is. The guys that shot Ben are holed up in the Parsons Creamery, just north of here.
So, certain things, like Hancock said, likes if you say thanks, but...
So you've just been waiting for me to show up to do something about those assholes.
Screw him. Let's just do the job.
As far as I remember, I don't answer
he
to
likes
you.
it if you do that.
And yeah, we were waiting for you. That's your job, to deal with unexpected problems that come up. My job is to make sure nobody gets into this place.
I don't know whether he likes it if you say.
That's true. Edward wouldn't have hired me if he thought you could have done the job.
Couldn't have said that better myself.
Throwing a lot of attitude for the new gal.
2 likes.
Guess we'll see soon enough if you're just blowing smoke or not.
Yeah, you kind of have to be a bit of a bitch to her. So, I'm going to wait till day. Slightly easier to see. I'm not going to wait till full day, I'm just going to wait till almost. Just until it gets a bit lighter. There we go, that's perfect. So you're going to want to go... You're going to want to follow the road. You may think just go right, but it doesn't... You won't get to see this dude who's dead. So just go out, follow the road north. I don't see how he got ambushed. He's going completely the wrong way. You should see him eventually somewhere. I'm not sure whether it's this close, but it's definitely further up here. So there's the creamery, and he should be somewhere up here. Somewhere. There he is. So he was literally going completely wrong way. Let's just get armor on him.
Come on! You promised you'd share!
You promised you'd share. How do I get stuck with whiny little punks like you?
Maybe Lefty won't like it much when I tell him how much you want back. What do you think of that, huh?
What do you think of this? Waste of ammo. Who's there?
That must be some good stuff you got!
Man down! You're up now. I'll make it quick.
Oh, you're starting to have fun. We're splitting all that, right?
That is not acceptable. Emogene is missing, and I want her found.
She's not missing, Mother.
Do you know where she is?
No.
So did you
but
find
that
out what
does-
happened to the
Emogene is
courier?
missing, and I want her found. What else is Edward for, if not to keep the family safe?
Mother, Edward has better things to do than sending someone out to find Emogene. Again.
Emogene is out there somewhere, maybe even lying dead in a ditch, and you don't even care.
I'm not going to have
Did you
Edward
nod off,
drop
or
everything
what?
just because Emogene...
Some raiders set up camp near Parsons and ambushed him. I took care of them.
I don't like raiders operating so close to Parsons. I hope this isn't the start of something serious. What about the serum he was carrying? Did you get any of it back?
The serum was all gone.
Yeah, figures. Oh well. Here's your pay for the job. Too bad about the serum. Now,
So that was
far as
special
what's
delivery.
oh hell, I guess it's time you met Wilhelmina. Jack's not gonna be happy about it. Come on.
Just so you know, there are 3 quests
Jack,
with this whole story. So there's the special delivery, what we just did. Then there's Emogene takes a lover, and then there's the secret of Cabot House.
I'll take care of
made him deal with the devil.
Mrs. Cabot, don't worry. I'll send someone to find Emogene.
Thank you, Edward. I can always count on you. Why can't you be as devoted as dear Edward?
You shouldn't indulge her, Edward. It just makes her more impossible to deal with next time.
Just doing my job. Speaking of which, we tracked down the last delivery from Parsons. Raiders got it all, I'm sorry to say.
Oh, that is bad news. Our supply here is dangerously low. Well, we'll just have to make it last until the next delivery.
Emogene is Jack's sister. You probably figured that out yourself. She's, a little flighty. Impulsive. From time to time, she runs off. Usually with a new boyfriend. Then I send somebody to bring her home.
Great. The sister's even crazier than Jack.
She's not crazy. She just wants the world to be a different place than it really is. I don't know where she's gone, but I can give you a place to start. She's been spending a lot of time in Good Neighbor. At the jazz club there, the third rail. Somebody there must know something. She's not known for keeping her mouth shut.
What if she doesn't want to come home?
Obviously, as one of the family, you can't just knock her in the head and drag her home by her heels. Usually, by the time I send someone after her, she's gotten bored with the whole thing and is ready to come home. I'm sure you'll think of something. You're supposed to be resourceful, remember?
You're the one who came up to me, so if I'm not resourceful,
Why does Emogene do this to me?
Alright, so I'm just going to do a really quick look round. Poor Edward. His home was in the basement. I suppose they don't like looking at him. The bastards. But another thing McCready likes is stealing. See? And he likes picking locked containers as well. I think it falls into 2 different categories. So you should get another like for doing it. Should. Doesn't necessarily mean I will. Anyway. Here they've got some nice food. Completely undamaged.
Jack says there's no hurry about finding Emogene, but he doesn't mean it.
You can go
I can't believe
upstairs.
how callous Jack can be about his sister.
Only opens with a key.
That's weird. So
Bingo.
you can hack this terminal. Don't know what it'll lead to, but might as well have a look.
I'm in.
Whoa. What the fuck? 1968. I think I finally have this new terminal set up correctly. Let's see if this saves. Yes. I can already see that it's going to increase my productivity immensely. Nevertheless, mother's chirping about new fangled contraptions. I see that I mistyped my name on the screen, so I'll have to check the manual for how to fix that. Would get annoying to see that every time I logged in. 966, still learning how to work with the computer. Searched mine for an hour last night. So if I need to take this entrance grab one while paper notes into the machine. All attempts to directly remove the artifact have been unsuccessful so far. Father's blood pressure drop preset should just I can't say that word. Detectable brain waves nearly flatlined each time. The results were the same. Total amnesia, father unconscious, local amnesia, father conscious, several types of antipsychotic. To do, fill in exact lesson doses for my notes. Various doses of LSD. To do, fill in doses. This implies that saving the artifact is all necessary in order to remove it from the father. Question is the psychotic effect permanent? i.e. will it survive removal of the artifact, or the artifact actively directly inducing it. I've been cautious with directly physical interaction with the artifact since in very early days my initial attempt to probe or tinker with it met with similar physical symptoms to father. Do I attempt to remove it? I won't attempt it again until I am much greater on solid ground. Right, just password again. Fucking hell. If you want to read all that, feel free. Mother and you have left another European tour while I take care of the latest generational shift, getting more difficult to make this work. Modern age, luckily money still talks. Find someone reliable left in charge at Parsons while I'm gone. Perhaps Anderson could be trusted not to meddle. It's good to be back. Jack Cabot, long lost cousin of the Cabots. Oh my god, it's good to be back. John Cabot, long lost cousin of the Cabots, have returned to claim his inheritance after the freak accident that claimed the lives of Jack and his family. As usual, I've been given to respond. People just know as John, and this beard is going to take some getting used to, but such are the burdens of immortality. Anderson proved loose on and close breaking into anything. There's nothing heard of. What? So I never read this before. 2023, I've been experiencing some of the new transmitters. Right, 2058. I just hired a new fellow to work with family affairs. Edward Deegan comes highly recommended. It's too easy for me to ignore the passage of time now. I've just realised how old Daniel is getting. It will be time for him to retire in a few years. But it's past time to start grooming his replacement. This is always such a difficult process that I tend to put it off. Especially as mother can be so difficult with anyone new. If Edward proves reliable, I can start easing him into family secrets. Tricky, but necessary. So far so good. Mother has taken to him, which is a sensible first step. 1975. I've had Rob go out again. It seems like a small thing, but this login screen glitch has me driving me crazy. You can be sure I would have typed my name correctly this time, but no, booted up the next time. So he's trying to fix the thing. 1976. Apparently the political situation was very dangerous. I don't pay much attention to current events, but Emogene's latest views is a high mucking muck in some government agency and has been telling her alarming stories about how close things have gotten to a full-scale nuclear war. I wonder if we are following in the footsteps of the agents who created the artifact. If so, might our successors be thousands of years from now? Will a cockroach civilization eventually rise to wonder the advent? 2077, 12th of the 1st. It really happened. I don't think I'm quite come to terms with it means for the long run. It's been one crisis after another. We certainly aren't out of the woods yet, but the simple fact that I can write this again means we are better off than most. I don't have time to write down everything that's happened. Fortunately, Boston was spared a direct hit. My first concern was Parsons, of course, had to maintain back. We've always had backup generators, more than usual, even for the medical facility, but these were intended for short-term outages, not permanent. There was some question of security. Edward proved himself resourceful. He already had the plan in place for such an emergency. Thank God he paid more attention to the news than I did. Still, there's no planning for the end of civilization. He and I have been at Parsons for almost a month, trying to keep things from completely falling apart. Edward has been out more than he should. I'm afraid he's taking heavy doses of radiation. But there was really no choice. I do what I can for him. I don't know how I can replace him now. Emogene has stepped up amazingly. I have no idea how she did it. The man we left in charge, who proved unreliable, apparently cracked under the pressure and tried to evict Emogene and mother at gunpoint. He didn't reckon on Emogene, and neither did I. She took charge, and so I kept things secure in here, despite thing. I'll have to see whatever we can do about more permanent solution power to carry out. But for the moment, things look much better than they might. I expect even more resources. Well, it wasn't boring. 2080. I think I finally say that things are looking up. Edward's crew more or less reliable streets with Parsons. Speaking of Edward, his radiation sickness has developed in a most fortunate way. For a time I thought he was surely going to die, but then this condition stabilised. He now seems actually immune to further radiation. Apparently this is not unknown in the other tribes, although Edward tells me that a strong prejudice has developed against these people. Hard to understand, as they seem unique, qualified to survive in this world. That's why they're jealous. 21:15. I'm lately immersed myself in Lorenzo's work like never before. I wish now I had been more put more effort when it was still possible, try and locate the site of so-called a bar. After my initial failed attempt to find the site, I dismissed it as both hopeless and useless. Better to focus my energy on the immediate problems, but now, after going over Render's papers more thoroughly, I believe there are some clues to the general location that a large-scale search using our aircraft might have been feasible. Something that's possible wasn't possible in my first attempt, of course. Maybe I could have found some more artifacts that I... I couldn't realize how brilliant Renzer actually was. Reception stairs are not driven in such secret. Loads of writing that took us like 10 minutes. So I can't get into the house yet. The further house, their living quarters. Won't matter. Let's go to Good Neighbor. See if we can find this Emogene. Which I love as a name, Emogene. Emogene. Sounds beautiful. I can tell you exactly where she is, but because I'm doing this for you guys, we'll go to Good Neighbor. But for future reference, if you just want to skip the whole Good Neighbor process, you can just travel to a very special place that we have been to before with McCready, actually. Thinking about it.
Better keep your iron strapped on. Friendly advice.
Yeah.
Don't you worry, love. So enter the third rail. You're going to hear some... You're going to hear some beautiful, and I mean beautiful music
Toss out the troublemakers. Keep that
from Magnolia.
What, you need something to take the edge off? Fred Allen, Hotel Rex.
Charlie.
My client appreciates the work he...
Do you know Emogene Cabot?
Name rings a bell. Kind of balmy. Haven't seen her in a while, though. Try Magnolia. She likes to make friends with people. She might know more about this missing bird. Magnolia! Gal wants a word.
Hey there.
You're looking for me? What can I do for you?
Do you know Emogene Cabot?
Emogene? Sure. I know her. I haven't seen her in a while, though. Were you a friend of hers?
She's missing, and her family's worried about her.
Well, I'm glad somebody's looking out for her. She seems like a body that could use looking after.
Do you know where she's gone?
There was this preacher fella who used to come in here all the time. One of the slick ones. Always going on about remaking your life and so on. Most of the customers wouldn't give him the time of day, but Emogene, she latched on to him for some reason. I don't suppose it hurt that he was easy on the eyes. Intense. Some women find that irresistible.
Ham, would you come over here a minute?
Is there a problem, Miss Magnolia?
No, this lady here was just looking for Emogene. Do you happen to know where that preacher fella came from?
Brother Thomas?
Yes, that's right. The one Emogene was always hanging on.
Had to throw him out. Wouldn't stop bothering customers with that salvation racket. Kept going on and on about joining him at the back bay.
Then he'd shove those stupid flyers in your face. Here, kept one of them, just in case he didn't pay his bar tab.
Well, thanks, honey. You were a big help.
Anything for you, miss.
I hope Imogene's all right. I didn't much like the idea of her going off with that preacher fellow. You again.
Where was it? Pillars of the community. We have spoken to these very scamish people before. Do you feel your life isn't what you wanted? Are you looking for a change? Come here, Brother Thomas, explain the truth behind our troubled world at the Charles View Amphitheatre in the Back Bay. Revival meetings every night. All those seeking to change their lives for the better are welcome.
It's my lucky day. What do you mean?
Very, very nice. Very convincing. Let's go see them and see what this stupid little girl Imogene's got herself into.
You should talk to Brother Thomas about how to...
Hi.
Welcome, neighbor. We're always glad to see you. Tell me something. You ever feel like this whole world is broken? Do you ever wonder why things can't be the way they were in the good old days?
I'm just looking for Emogene Cabot.
Oh, I'm sorry, but Emogene is indisposed right now. She's not seeing visitors.
Her family's worried about her.
You can tell them that she's fine. Not that it's any of your business, but she and I are just having a little relationship trouble. You know how it is. She's not seeing anybody until she cools off.
So McCready likes it if you threaten him, but obviously it's quite hard, so make sure you save before you do it.
I'm going to see her, one way or another. Your choice.
Maybe they'd rather spend the last few seconds of their lives with a gaping hole in their chest.
You picked the wrong guy to mess with, pal.
We'll do that again, because I don't want to kill him. What would Emogene think?
I'm going to see her, one way or another. Your choice.
Maybe they'd rather spend the last few seconds of their lives with a gaping hole in their chest.
You picked the wrong...
Okay.
I was so close.
Whoa, you win! What just happened? You're messing with the best.
Find anything useful on him?
Someone help! Ah! Ha!
What a letdown.
I
was so...
Let's pick up a t-shirt skin before we leave, huh?
You must be Emogene.
Don't tell me. Jack sent you.
Ooh, she's old. Quick save your age. You need to do this to get another like.
You're Jack's sister?
Oh, not get a
I was
dislike.
expecting someone a bit... younger.
You really know how to flatter a lady, don't you? Just to be clear, I'm Jack's younger sister, the baby of the family. Once I get home and get some of Jack's serum, I'll be back to my usual stunning self.
Jack has a serum that reverses aging?
It really isn't any of your business. And I know it was Jack who sent you. He's always trying to control me.
You don't seem very grateful for being rescued.
I'm fine, as you can see. I was just waiting to see if Thomas would come to his senses. But since you've already gone to all this trouble, I may as well leave now. I was bored with Thomas anyway. He seemed so interesting at first. But after we got here, he turned out to be just another brute. He actually thought he could force me to join his absurd cult.
Your boyfriend's dead. Let's go.
Thomas? He wasn't my boyfriend. We had some fun together, that's all. Besides, he shouldn't have locked me in here. Oh, I'm not going with you. You can tell Mother I'll be along home before too long. I just need a drink first.
Well, I love how I say your boyfriend's dead and then you go, he's not my boyfriend. Like, like that's what you should take from that situation.
Excuse me.
I'll never hear the end of this from Mother.
And you literally just basically had me kill a whole people. So, return to Cabot House. Yeah, return to Cabot House.
Try again. I think it's clearing up. Damn, the signal is strangely weak.
Whoever lives here must have made a deal with the devil.
Edward, switch over to the Hartley modulator. Do you copy?
Gee, now. How's this?
Oh, that's done it. Edward, what's going on there?
We're under attack. They're inside the building.
Inside? Can you keep them out of the basement?
I'm trying, Jack. I've never seen raiders that... For God's sake, Sammy, the doorway, right there. Sorry. Things are a little busy around here right now.
Listen, if they're inside the building, you have to go to the office and shut down the elevator. You can't risk them getting to Lorenzo.
Got it. Office. Elevator. You better round up whoever you can and get...
Hello? Edward?
Excuse me.
There's no signal at all. I've lost him.
What's
Not
happening,
now.
Jack? If these people are inside Parsons, if they free him...
Don't worry, I'll handle it.
I always knew it would end this way. I never should have allowed you to lock up Lorenzo in that place.
That isn't helping, Mother. And as I recall, using the serum was your idea, not mine.
So what are you going to do?
I said I'll handle it. I'm thinking.
What's going on?
That was Edward. He's at Parsons, the old asylum. They're under attack by raiders. It's strange. The guards have held off raiders before without any trouble. I don't know what's gone wrong this time.
Probably the same raiders that stole the serum.
Could be. If some of them had used the undiluted serum, it could explain their unusual success against Edward's men.
There we go. Emogene takes a lover. Done.
What exactly does this serum do?
I suppose it's time you knew.
Yes, it will.
The main benefit of the serum is to halt aging. My family and I are all over 400 years old. But it also confers other side effects, especially in the undiluted form that the raiders stole. It increases strength and resistance to all kinds of physical damage. So at least some of these raiders may be much more dangerous than the ones you're used to dealing with.
Okay.
If you're 400 years old, then you were born before the Great War.
Yes, I think you were too. I'd say mid-21st century?
That's right. I was in cryosleep until recently.
Interesting. We'll have to talk more about that later, but time presses. Is there anything else before we get going?
Where do you get this serum from?
My father, Lorenzo Cabot, is confined in Parsons. He became dangerously unstable after handling an artifact he found on an archaeological dig in Arabia. He gained various seemingly paranormal powers, as well as becoming increasingly irrational and violent. In the end, I had no choice but to confine him, for his own safety, as well as ours.
Jack, are you sure it's wise telling her all this?
In the course of my attempts to cure him, I discovered that the artifact had introduced anomalies into his blood. So the source of his insanity is also the basis of the treatments that have prolonged all our lives. The irony isn't lost on me, but if he were to escape from Parsons, I would lose my father forever. Not to mention that the artifact has made him paranoid, homicidally violent, and endowed with
Okay,
we better get to Parsons right away then.
Exactly right. Hold on. Weren't you off looking for Emogene? Did you find her?
Yeah, I found her. Hard to believe she didn't want to come home to her loving family.
That's truly none of your concern.
At least there's one small comfort on this terrible day.
You'll be wanting to be paid, of course. Edward usually handles these things. Caps is what you use for currency, isn't that right? Here, I hope that's the right amount. Before we go, I need you to understand something. When we get to Parsons, you need to do exactly what I tell you. Nothing more, nothing less. Is that clear?
I'm not that great at taking orders.
Then it's time to learn, or neither one of us is likely to leave Parsons alive. And make sure you have whatever you'll need for a serious battle. I'll wait for you outside.
Jack, be careful. And try not to hurt him.
I love Father at least as much as you do. But you know as well as I do that if he gets free, there will only be one option.
Don't let it come to that, please.
I'll do my best, Mother. And if Emogene finally comes home, for God's sake, don't let her leave again until I get back. Now, I really do have to go.
Okay, so that is part 1 of the Cabot trilogy. So in the next episode we are going to be doing The Secret of Cabot House. There's been some kind of attack on Jack's facility at the Parsons State Insane Asylum. Jack and I are going to deal with it. Yes. And this is what I would suggest doing with MacCready. But you don't have to. Anyway, thank you for watching. This was Belle, and goodbye.